Welcome to another episode of RetargetKit webinar. I'm your host, Shamima Nasrin, and this is the show where I interview different company founders and industry experts who share their success story, strategies, and insights to help you launch and grow your business. In this episode, I'll be welcoming my guest, Eugen Popa, an international trainer and speaker, CEO of Pro Success Training, a company that helps other companies with excellent course and seminar and workshops. CEO and founder at Eugen C Popa, a helping and training company, president at Romanian Hypnosis Association, and co-founder at lifetimedeal.com, an information tech company that features best SaaS apps and products, helping the company to grow gradually. Welcome, Eugen.
Thank you so much. So many titles, I forget who you're talking to or to who you're talking about, actually. So thank you so much for the invitation. I'm very excited about this interview and what we're going to talk about here. So thank you for the invitation.
So welcome, really welcome to our episode. So as I've went through your profile and got to know you, I feel like I'm one of the lucky person to get to know you, and you're such a wonderful person. So I was really eagerly waiting to do this session with you. So
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
For our audience, I want you to know that what you will learn from this session. And in this episode, you'll be learning about how psychology marketing works and how both the things are related, and how you can grow your how you can grow your business using the psychological terms, and what important role plays psychology in marketing, and why we give a lot of effort in our marketing yet we fail in the product and business, mainly the marketing related things, and how you can grow your market using the psychological marketing. Okay.
Absolutely, yes.
So we'll be sharing a lot of useful insights and lessons, so stay with us till end.
Yes.
So let's
don't go away.
My first question to you will be about the lifetimedeal.com. Can you share more about it, what it does, and how you guys are helping other companies to grow their business?
Thank you so much for the question. Together with Aaron Boss, who is my co-founder with lifetimedeal.com, we want to, we're not so much interested in growing very fast and exploding or growing exponentially, as we are more interested in servicing and helping people who are interested in getting a good deal for their investment. So like any good relationship, like the good wine, it gets better with time. So the same thing here. We don't want to jump right ahead and say, hey, we give you everything and we make everything and our deals are the best or whatnot, and come over and shop with us necessarily. So that's not necessarily our point. It's more like we want to have a relationship with both the founders that we are promoting, as well as, or even more so, with the users. So it's not so much about selling new businesses, but actually creating new connections, creating new relationships, which from our perspective, from our standpoint, we want them to be long-lasting or everlasting, if you will, relationships, because everything is based on a relationship. And even the purchasing process is based on a relationship. You won't buy something from someone that you don't know or you don't trust, and relationships take time. So that's kind of our approach. We don't want to come up and jump with 1,000 deals, even though we have the possibility or the ability right now to promote more deals at once. We don't want to do that. We want to take it slow, so people get to understand what we are doing, get to understand what the products we are launching are doing, get to know the founders of these apps and softwares and products we're launching. So therefore they can have a relationship with the founders, with us. They can ask questions, they can get answers, and have all of this marketing process done in a very friendly and familiar way. So that's our approach. We don't want to be an app factory that are have like a conveyor belt launching platform. We don't want to do that at this moment. We just want to grow our relationship with both founders and users and customers.
Wonderful. That's really wonderful. Even I think that's the one of the best way to get to know to the founders of many companies like you yourself. I even had no idea, and it was hard for me, and it's still hard for me some cases. But when you were in a group, since I joined Lifetime Deal, I think there are some people I got to know really close, and it's really wonderful platform to actually not only about it's not about the getting the business or like selling your products or anything like that, but if you get to know each other, grow together, it's like mutually growing.
Yeah, and it's starting with growing the community, of course. Like you said, if you go to lifetimedeal.com on Facebook, if you go to this community, you'll see that we started the group, I think, 2 months or 2.5 months ago, and we are already almost 2,000 members in this group, and it's constantly growing. Like every day we got new people joining in because of the friendliness, because of the atmosphere, because of the ability to communicate with each other, like you said yourself, with both the founders and other members, because everybody in the group is someone who's interested not just in lifetime deals, but is interested in growing their businesses in the industry, in having success with their business, with their ventures.
So I got to know that you are studying psychology. You are attending many training paths. So can you tell us more about psychological marketing?
There is no marketing without psychology. Let's put it that way. Everything in marketing is psychology. When you say, even like people are talking about funnels, and they're talking about how to get from point A to point B. All of this is based on psychology. It cannot be done otherwise. So I'll give you a term. It's called escalating engagement. So basically, when you have a funnel, what you actually are doing, you're escalating engagement. I'll explain to you. So what does a funnel do? First, you come in contact with an information. Then I'll give you, it's like with a new vendor, okay, with a new product or company. So you come in contact with them how? Well, they are, writing an article about, or creating a video about their product or service. So that's the first thing the first thing you know about this company. You come in contact with them. The company won't right away say, hey, buy my product. No, you have to get to know them. So how do you do that? They will put out more content. So what do you do at this point? You're engaging with the content. You're seeing it, you're reading it, you're watching it, you're listening to it, you're engaging with the content. So now I got a little engagement from you. Next thing I do is I'm going to ask you to subscribe. That's another small engagement. Then I'm going to ask you to purchase, a small PDF or download a small PDF from my website. That's another engagement. So the more engagement I get from you, the more things I get you to do related to my company or my product or service, the more engagement I get from you. And so this is called an escalation of the engagement, which is ultimately leading to you buying something from me. You can buy a small thing or you can buy a big thing. And that's escalating, basically step by step by step by step, leading you, towards, a goal, either that be, buying a product or purchasing a service or having a membership on my platform or website or my software. So that is escalating engagement. That's what a funnel is. It's escalating engagement. I mean, it's very simple because usually what they say, and this is something you say in marketing, when you meet somebody, you don't right away say, marry me. No, you have to talk to them, get to know them, let them know you before you jump for the sale, which marry me means sale.
Yes, that's it. So I think this session will be really interesting for our audience. So if you find this interesting, but if you don't have any time right now to watch the video, so we'll be providing a podcast for you, and make sure that you get every part of it, you get every insights and every information you need right here. So yes, we'll be providing a PDF, and we'll try our best to provide it in written, so that in case you want to read it out and want any kind of information. So yes, as we were talking about the psychological terms, so I've like searched in the Google and YouTube's about the psychological marketing. Yet there are so many terms to use, and so many things are so internally related. So what type of psychological terms can be used for promoting a product or brand?
Well, actually, it's not necessarily like there are many psychological terms, but for instance, as you well know in marketing, one thing that always sells is scarcity. So people do not like to be left out. They do not like to be the only one who didn't get it, or they do not want to be, alone in their, world. And that has to do with psychology, and has to do with how human race is, which humans are a social animal, so to speak, social beings. So they like to be together. They like to be in a community. They would like to be, under the same banner, so to speak, because being alone means death. This is something which is written in our genetic code. We've been living in the savannas for, millennia, and that has shaped the way we interact with the world, and the way we interact with the universe. And, there's this saying, strength in numbers. Well, if we are more, then that makes us more safe. It makes us also feel like we belong, and it makes us feel like we are protected. And even though you don't have a connection right now in your mind, telling you that that's so, actually, that extends in all ways of our life. So because we want to have, because we have this innate need to belong, to be safe and protected, to be together with others, when somebody comes and says, hey, I have this offer, this product, but you need to get to the inner circle, or you want to get into the club, or if you don't get this, you'll be left out. All of these trigger the same principle, trigger the same psychological principle. So scarcity always works, because if you can only buy this until this hour, if you can only buy this at this price, if you can only buy this because you get so and so and so, and if you don't do that, you'll be left out, people will act on it, people will buy it. So this is one principle. Another one is, when you want to present something to the world, always start with not the tool itself, but the benefits you get from using the tool, the service, or the product. So instead of saying, hey, look at me, I have an amazing service, nobody cares about that. People care about how will your service them. So if you can tell me about what's in it for me, what's my benefit, if you can tell me what I will gain from using your service, then yeah, your chances to promote that, to sell that, will grow. So there are many, many companies out there doing, like helping you with ads on Facebook, let's say that. Okay, so many companies helping you with their ads on Facebook. But if you can come and say, not saying, hey, my company helps you with your ads on Facebook, that doesn't give me much. But if I say, my company or my service will help you, reduce your investment and maximize your profit, I'm interested in that, because I want to reduce my investment, the money I pay for the service, and actually increase my return on investment. So yeah, I'm interested in that. But if you just say, I have a great service for you, I don't care. Make sense?
Yeah, sure. But there are, I think there are some like people buy some things and they literally don't know what it does. So why does that happen? Like
because they don't want to be left out, because maybe sometime later in the future I might use it. I have to tell you, I'm guilty of that too. It's like, I know all of this stuff, and still the fact that I know, it's not as powerful as the fact that I don't want to be left out. So think of your mind with like in 3 layers. Okay, so you have the responsive, reactive mind, the instinctual mind, which is the first and the deepest level of your mind, okay? That's called the reptilian brain. That's what it's called. I didn't give it this name. That's the name. So you have the reptilian brain, which is very tiny, very small. So this one is the one which is related to your instinct of survival, of self-protection, of procreation. So this instinct, it's the deepest one you have, okay? Now, this instinct, it's at the core of your being. It's what makes you move, it's what makes you tick. So this instinct says, do not be left out, okay? Then above it, you have the emotional mind, which is, oh, I like to buy these shoes because I just like them. I like them. They're great. They make me feel good, right? So that's the emotional mind. And then you have the logical mind, which says, I bought these shoes because I need to go to a party, but really, I just don't want to be left out. And I don't want to be left out because everybody goes to that party. I don't want to be left out, so I buy the shoes. Then I actually feel good about buying the shoes. Second layer, the emotional brain. And then I come with the logical. So people act illogically because they have this first brain which tells them, don't be left out. And then they cannot logically explain why they did that. But I can explain to you that they did that because of this reason.
I read in an article, it is said that sound and colors play a huge role in marketing. So does that really work?
Yes, absolutely, because each color has a certain reaction. So there's, for instance, all of the fast food companies, they are in red or yellow or orange color, because orange, if you look at this, all of these fast food companies, McDonald's, Burger King, whatever company, all of them have a yellow or a red or orange color because they are associated with fast. So they don't want you to stay around and, linger on. They just want you to come in, buy the food, get out. That's what they want to do. And you do this by using color. For instance, there are many tests done online with people who are purchasing more if the buy button is red than if it's green. But it's not about the color of the button only, it's also the context within. So if the whole page is green and you put a green button for the buy process, maybe you won't have as much success as if you put the buy button to be red or black, maybe even sometimes, because you have to look at the context. So it's the whole build-up. So for instance, all the stop signs are red for a reason. You associate red with stop. All the exit signs are green for a reason, because green we associate with life. We associate green with freshness, right? So all of these, they're very, very important. Also, not just the colors, but you also mentioned sounds. So for instance, the mind, and we're talking about the emotional and the instinctual mind now, the instinctual brain and the emotional brain. If I say something and I say, now I'm talking very, very, very slow. Can you see how slow I'm talking? The mind says, okay, so there's a disconnect, incongruency between the speed and the content. All right. So because there is this disconnect, it'll make you sound untrue. People say, I'm very calm, I'm super calm, I'm the calmest person ever met. It's like, well, you say you are, but you don't show it. So because of that, how do I know you're not showing it? Because I can see it, right? But I can also hear it. So what you say has to match the speed and the tone and the content of what you say, right? So all of this, they have to match. The more they match, the more congruency you get, the more your message will be accepted by the other party, by the ones who are reading it or hearing it or seeing it. So of course, all of these are important. And there's another aspect which talks about how each person perceives the message that you're giving out. But I spoke now about the color and sound, And we can also talk about, the 5 different typologies of people and how you can talk their language. There is a whole psychology of colors. Like if you go online and like, I don't know, if you go on Google, for instance, and search for psychology of colors, you'll see it's pretty amazing. Actually, I think I did put a photo like this in the Lifetime Deal group, showing people different companies which are using the same colors. Like for instance, talking about, restaurants and diners. If you go to a fast food, you'll always be red or orange. But if you go to a nice restaurant, like a classy restaurant, you'll not see those colors. You'll see dark colors like brown or dark, dim light, because they want you to stay there, to stay and consume.
So yes, for our next question, we do see a lot of courses sessions, yet we fail selling a product. Why is that?
Because marketers, oftentimes they don't know how to speak the customer's language. And this is something that some marketers know, some people know, but most, like 99% people don't know. So actually yourself, for instance, when you are talking, you're using certain words which tells me something about you. So for instance, I'm not talking about you personally right now, I'm just saying in general. So how do you do that? For instance, you can take a test. You can ask your customers to do a short test to answer a few questions. And when they do so, they will tell you their inner dialogue without even knowing. So I'll give you an example. Let's say we are both experiencing the same experience, the same situation. And you would say, this looks good. And I would say, this sounds good to me. And somebody will say, this feels good, about the same experience, okay? So the way they represent the same experience is the way their inner dialogue goes and the way their inner mind works. So some people are visual, some are auditory, some are kinesthetic or digital, olfactory and gustative. So what this means is that if I know that you are mostly visual, then in my message to you, I will use mostly visual words and examples. So I would say, do you see what I mean? Or I would say like, so I want you to paint the picture in your mind, right? I would use these words. But if I know that you're auditory, I would say, how does this sound to you? Can you hear the sound of success as you are using this product? I'm just saying like that, stuff like that. So these are they're called representational. It's a representational system. So basically, the system by which you represent the world to yourself and yourself to the world. And you identify this representational system by looking at what words and predicates and verbs people are using in their communication, and also the metaphors they're using. Make sense?
Yes, sure. So
like I said, one way of understanding this, when you talk to your customers, you can have, let's say, 3 or 4 different marketing campaigns to sell your product. So one is talking about in one campaign you use all of the visual cues and metaphors that you can. Our product makes you look good. Use our product so you can see the world in a better way. You can use all of the visual metaphors. In another campaign, you can use all of the auditory campaign. It's like, the sound of success is using this, or it's like using this and getting the results is like music to your ears, right? That's auditory. Or I can have a third campaign talking about how it feels to use this product, how it feels to have an amazing success by using this. Or I can use a fourth one where I talk about the logical reasons for which to use this program or service. So I have 4 campaigns, and then with these 4 campaigns, I will see which one is more successful, because that will tell me what my most audience is my audience is more visual or auditory or kinesthetic or digital.
Okay, so I have another question about. I hear people going into the annual meetups, like the summits, like the SaaSter, and which was recently cancelled, and many other that summits, annual summits they do. So, does it help in growing the company?
Of course, because the one who's organizing the company, the summit, it's like the host is the king, right? So if I'm the host of a summit, then I pull all the strings, just to use a metaphor. If I am the host of the summit, then I am the number one in that summit. The one who's organizing something becomes the center of that something. You know, it's if Lifetime.com would organize a summit, then we would be the center point of that summit. If RetargetKit will organize a summit, then you'll be the main point, the main pillar of that summit. You'll be the main attraction, so to speak. You'll get the most connections from that summit. You'll get the most contracts out of that summit because you organized it. People are coming to the summit, but they know that if anything goes right or wrong, if anything needs to be changed in any way, you go to one company and one company alone. You're not going to your next booth. You're going to the headquarters, which is the main host of the summit. So organizing a summit is one of the best ways to grow fast and to grow solid and to grow healthy, because you become the authority in that field.
Okay, so but about the new companies, the one who launched and who are really self-funded, so these summits are pretty expensive for them. So would that be really good for them to like go in the sessions in the first time, like in the first year, or like in the second year, if they really have no revenue?
Yeah.
Or
So I would say if organizing a summit is part of your budget plan and part of your promotional plan, and if you can sustain it, then go for it. If you cannot sustain it, then maybe plan it for some time later on. But if you are participating in a summit, like going there to see what's happening in a summit, I would definitely suggest you do it, because it'll get you it's like the main purpose of a summit is not to the main purpose of the summit is foremost is to learn stuff. And how do you learn stuff? By attending workshops and seminars, but mostly by creating connections and meeting founders, people, business partners. So that is the main key of a summit, is to actually create connections, get to know people personally. Because I can talk to you and you talk to me, and we can be good friends online for, I don't know, years, but nothing will oversee or overcome the direct personal interaction. So because of that, when I want to create new connections, strong connections, I can have 10 phone calls and 5 Zoom calls. But if I have one personal private meeting, that'll be way, way better, because I got to see you personally. I know you personally. I am invested with you, and you're invested with me personally. And that personal level, it's more powerful than the online one. But that being said, it's it can also work the other way around, because most business is online now. So like I said in the beginning, if I don't know you, I just need to see more of you to get to know you better. Make sense?
yes, sure.
So my short answer: if you can attend a summit, don't spend a second thought, do it, because you'll meet great people. You'll meet future possible clients, and also future possible partners and associates that you can work with, that you can develop business with.
Very true, very true. Are you guys planning to bring some more deals in the lifetimedeal.com?
Oh yeah. Yes, absolutely. Actually, like I said, we have several deals, several companies that we want to launch. and we're right now just trying to find out which will be the best next best fit for our audience. So we basically, asking people in the community what they're interested in, because we have a whole range of different deals that we want to launch. But it's not about just launching a deal, it's actually offering our viewers and offering our audience the best deal for their needs. So very soon, in a week or so, you'll see another great deal. I think it's a very good deal. Another great offer that we'll bring over to the audience, to the public, to the general public. And then after, of course, several others which are in the pipeline, so to speak. So we have everything scheduled out. We just want to, like I said, come out with the best offer for our audience at this moment. So that's why I said in the beginning of our interview, our main interest is not so much in selling deals, but actually creating a community which is, tightly knit together, a community that helps each other. So our main purpose is to help you have the best results with your marketing efforts, to have, success and profit from your marketing efforts. And so to do that, we need to know what you are, interested in, what your needs are, so we can bring you those kind of deals.
Yes, friends, do check out lifetimedeal.com, and I bet you'll get some pretty good deals out there. And Jed and Aaron are working really very hard, and I think they'll bring some very good products in future. I'm looking forward to it. And recently, they have launched their affiliate marketing program. I'll provide the link below. If you're an affiliate marketer, then I think that's a very good news for you.
Yes. And also make sure to join the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/lifetimedeal.com, in one word, lifetimedeal.com. And you'll find a lot of your friends already in that group, so don't be left out.
In the end of our session. So, Eugen, if you have any advice for our newbies?
The best thing to do is, remember, there's always an escalation of your interaction with your customers. First they get to know you, then they have to like you, then they buy from you. So because once they like you, they trust you. So actually there's like 4 steps. They have to know you, they have to like you. If they like you, they trust you. If they trust you, they buy from you. You don't have to try and convince somebody of the amazing products you have, because if you get to the point where they trust you, they will buy whatever. So what is also very important to keep in mind is that people don't buy your products. They buy you, right? So whatever you're presenting, if you make them feel relaxed, if you make them feel they can trust you, they will purchase from you. It's like, they get to that point where they say, shut up and take my money, kind of a thing. So that's what you have to focus on. Focus on building trust, focus on building a relationship, and the sales process will happen by itself naturally.
Yes, there was a saying you said in last time we had a talk. You said something that I really personally loved it, and you said something like, real value is not the product. Real value is your lifetime customer, and that was
Absolutely.
something. That was something just like,
and real value, and above all, real value is you. You're the real value. It's like if I like you, and if I trust you, then I'll buy whatever I want from you, whatever you're offering. I had clients with my courses, they said to me, I don't even care what you're going to sell me next. I'm going to buy it anyway because I know it's good, because I trust your products and services. So just sign me up by now for the next year. Whatever you're going to bring out, I'll buy it. Okay.
that's perfect. That's very deep. I think it's very, very, very deep, and we really don't hear something like that. That's really valuable.
Yeah. So, focus on bringing value. Focus on bringing value, not just by selling, but actually by just bringing value constantly, and you'll have people who will follow you, whatever you do, whatever you say.
Wonderful. So yes, we are in the end of our session. So
thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. I'm very, very happy I was able to be part of this project. Thank you so much.
we are in the end of this session. So thank you guys for listening. I'll provide the link below of the PDF and the podcast so that you don't miss it. And please do subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any other session that we are going to bring in our upcoming days. And we will try our best to post every week a webinar with new guests and get to share many important insights and stories and strategies with you guys and help you to grow your business. So yes, I'll take your leave now. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.